backwards. So
Do the alphabet backwards. Dot, dot, dot.
so we're gonna start with the latest news.
Yeah, let's. The latest news on what did you say? Tariffs?
Yeah, 50 countries immediately complied because I guess it started today.
Yeah.
50 countries, and guess how many liberals have anti-Trump people? I shouldn't say liberals, anti-Trump people. Guess how many called me and said, "You know what, Jack, you were right. Tariffs were a good thing."
Yeah, they're working.
Guess how many people called me? Guess how many people?
How many?
0. They went in hiding. That's what they do.
Because they can't. They can't.
Yeah, when they can't hit at Trump and he's done something good, they're nowhere to be found. I don't see anybody cheering. I only hear a bunch of protesting. So ridiculous.
Yeah, they can't admit to it. But yeah, I mean,
He's done like 100 good things,
Let
and
me
they
see.
can't figure out one of them. I can tell you, I mean,
I think I have it on my
I'd
phone.
have to think pretty hard because Biden didn't do much. But I'm sure there was something good he did. Not sure what.
Yeah, I don't know. I
But
can't think of anything.
I mean, I know. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know why they're like robots. It's like The Walking Dead, dude.
Damn
It's
it.
like the left elites. Hey, what's up? The left elites. They just go,
guys.
and then people are like, oh, they just summoned me. I need to start hating Trump. I need to complain about the price of eggs. I need to complain about. Oh, I can't complain about
We're
that.
still protesting.
Trump fixed that. Oh, I'm sorry.
We still got people protesting.
About what?
About Trump, Elon
Oh,
Musk.
about the good things he's doing. That's just ridiculous.
Well, because they don't see it that way. They're being propagandized.
I'm dumbfounded over the blindness of people not admitting he did right. How about I told you so? How about, oh, you know what? That was good. I would say that. I said about anybody I liked or disliked. Either way. Right is right no matter who does it. But, you know, they get all frustrated and angry. What are you doing? You're looking us up.
I'm looking up the tariff news.
Oh, by the way, China is fighting us. China is hard-nosing us.
Oh, yeah.
Which is funny because they're the country that will lose the most money.
Let's see. AP News actually has something out that says Trump threatens
they're going to lose millions a day
as global markets shudder over how much pain the economy can take.
Yeah, everybody complied immediately. They're all negotiating. They're paid by George Soros.
After China said it would retaliate against
and his NGO. Hey, what does NGO stand for?
Non-government organization.
Yeah, you're right, JMP. By the way. Yeah. So
what's up, James?
Doesn't matter. He could pull a kitty out of a tree, and they would not acknowledge it.
Yeah.
They're like, I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Well, I mean, he even said it
himself. The price of eggs.
He could find the cure for. He could find the cure for cancer or something, and they'd still like have some reason to shun him.
Okay, so when we're not broadcasting, they must be seething in their house like, he did great again. Great. What's wrong with this guy? How do we stop him? We keep dropping him, and he lands on his feet. The guy dodges bullets. I mean, come on. I mean, he's one step away from a red cape. What are you looking at?
Yeah, it says China threatens, or it says Trump's threat came after China said it would retaliate against U.S. tariffs. He announced if China does not withdraw its 34% increase above
he's ready to checkmate China
abuses by tomorrow, April 8th.
I think that's funny.
The U.S. will impose additional tariffs on China of
I'm
up to
ready for him just to say nothing from China. Serious.
yeah.
No more from China. Sorry. And you can't bypass China. We know if it's coming from China because it'll say made in China.
Well, shit. I think I told you before this was made in China.
That's fine. That's a nice looking hat, by the way.
It is. It is. Thank you. Yeah, made in China.
So I just want to say hey to JMP, and I want to say hey to, is it Pletchmeister? Okay,
That's what. Yeah,
that was it.
Meister, uh, JMP.
That was it. That was it. That was it. That was it.
James.
That was it.
That's it.
Those two people. That was it.
That's it. What are you talking about?
Yeah. James ain't in the room.
James. Wait.
He's in the room with you. He
Oh,
said hi
okay.
to you.
Oh,
So James ain't
he
here.
did say hi to you. So
Yeah. So JMP and Pletchmeister are in the room. So anyway.
But yeah,
So,
I mean,
I'm guessing James is busy
there's
looking
also
at the price of eggs.
there's also the what was that? A lot of these countries are saying that they're going to revoke their tariffs or level the
Yeah.
playing field.
They're
I
going to
think
do exactly. You look, if they drop to zero, we drop to zero. Listen, nobody should be charging anybody anything. Serious. I'm totally for matching whatever they do. So China went up another, 35%. Big deal. If none of your product comes in, I don't care if it's 100% tariff or if you don't take none of ours.
yes,
Like they take any of our products. Really?
50% of them, 50% of the country, or 50 countries, not 50.
He'll just shut it down. They're so stupid. Trump has nothing to lose. He'll just shut it down. He's like, okay, China, you're not gonna play nicely. We won't play. I'll take my marbles and go. That's
Yeah,
what he's gonna do.
yeah.
So so we'll see. But they want to play hard nose. Sorry, guy. You
Yeah,
you
year
rely too much. Guess
0
what?
0.
You're one step away from losing all your land over here. I know they're taking that back. That China's not to
And
own land over here.
oh yeah, they're definitely not going to.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if you know this.
What's
That
that?
I think I could be wrong. It may be Japan, but I think it's China. They own the fast tracks in California.
Fast tracks.
Freeway. Fast tracks.
Oh, really?
They own them in California. Now, I'm almost positive I'm almost positive it's China, but I could be wrong. But we don't own them. That's crazy. Do you know how much money every day is spent on that? Just to travel to work?
Yeah.
You're verifying.
I'm just looking it up.
What's it say?
Fast track electronic toll collection system is used on tolls. Yada yada yada. Not
Yep.
privately owned.
It is privately owned. That's so full of
Hold
crap.
on. I'm looking.
Hold on.
AI says that.
Hold on. Let's double check because I'll admit it if I'm wrong. Who owns the fast tracks in California? Maybe I'm wrong. This is when I was in California. Come on. Wait, I can't talk because she recorded everything I said.
Hey.
Who owns the fast tracks in California?
The fastest track in California, Willow Springs International.
No, I don't give it. AI has so far to go. They really do.
Which AI are you using?
Who owns the fast tracks on the freeways in California? Using it.
This isn't telling me anything.
California freeways.
The fastest trucks literally cannot read my voice. Okay, ready?
Hi there.
Who owns
Fast
the
track.
fast track lanes on the freeway in California?
TCA, Transportation Corridor Agency.
In California, the fast track lanes, known as express lanes, are primarily managed by local transportation agencies, such as the Bay Area Toll Authority and the San Bernardino County Transportation Authority. These
Okay.
agencies oversee toll collection and lane operations, often in partnership with Caltrans, which owns the highways.
Who owns the lanes?
Yeah, it's not saying anything.
The express
Yeah.
lanes on California freeways are owned by the state and operated by various local transportation.
Maybe I'm wrong. It says
China
the states,
own
but I was told the money goes to them.
track.
That's what I was told. Sorry, but I could be wrong. This was a few years ago. This is when I would used to live in California. God, that was a decade ago. Maybe we took it back. I don't know.
It does not.
Is that a myth?
AI,
You can bust it right now. Is it a myth?
probably a myth.
Okay. Sorry. Didn't mean to bring it up.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, they do own land here.
James said it's owned by the state of California. So yeah, James. So I
Land.
guess from what
Uh,
she said, the state owns the highways. So those lanes that generate literally I don't know if you've ever been on them in California.
Yeah,
They go as high
been on
they
them
go as
before.
high as like $10 at rush hour.
Yeah, I've used them
Let's
on.
go home for one
non-peak.
day.
I think I've used them on non-peak, so you didn't have to pay anything.
Really? No, it's just they're wicked expensive in California. And they go up and down according to time.
You see Seattle. It's even worse.
Yeah. Well, Seattle is worse, dude.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
true.
I'd rather I'd rather die in California than live in Seattle. I'm serious.
It wasn't a bad.
Huh?
It wasn't a bad place.
Oh, dude, they're more
I would
woke
say,
than freaking Disney.
well, there is a lot of wokeness there.
So is Oregon. Oregon's
But
like that too.
I think it's the politics are definitely left leaning.
Yeah, yeah.
People are, I'd say, 50-50.
Really. You know,
Yeah.
I think the majority of the country is kind of cool, kind of normal.
Yeah.
But we don't see that. We see right or left. We only hear the bad on both sides. I think there's so many Democrat friends I have that are the old Democrats. And what I mean by that is like maybe was Jimmy Carter Democrat? I think
I
he
believe
was.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe he was.
I think they're Democrats from back way in the day. And that was cool. They were totally normal. There was nothing wrong with them.
Well, wouldn't necessarily say
Oh,
as
James
far as
likes Seattle.
I think they've definitely strayed away.
Do you
over the
miss Seattle?
Parts of it.
Right?
It's kind of like California. I miss parts of it.
I miss the people and the food. That's it.
I miss the weather.
I don't give a crap about the weather. I'm pretty comfortable in my 70-degree house, whether it's cold outside or not.
Yeah.
You know, but I miss the people. I really do. I had a lot of
not having
friends.
to shovel snow.
Yeah. Well, out here in Tennessee, it really does not. Like, it snows for a day.
You know,
It doesn't stay on the ground at all.
Like, I think when I was there, I think the longest it last year was the worst, I think. It was like 2 or 3 weeks that it lasted.
Yeah, that's a cold spell, dude. That's disaster.
That was like the worst.
You know, it's funny. It's like you know how it's gonna rain in California and people freak out?
Yeah.
Kind of like it's gonna snow in Tennessee.
Yeah.
People act the same way. The stores get packed It's so funny. Everybody buying their milk sandwiches. It's so typical.
Yeah.
Do you know what the number one phrase is once the storm's over?
What's that?
How are the roads out there? How are
Yeah.
the roads out there? Look out the freaking window, moron. Stop relying on strangers on Facebook to tell you how the road. They can't even drive on dry roads.
And what they like, a lot of things that they don't realize, like if you were to take highways, especially in Nashville, they're going to be clear. You know, that's something that people don't understand. Like when I was in Washington, it was when it snowed, even the highways got covered.
Right.
But in Nashville, the highways, people travel it so much that it's not going to get covered.
Do you know what's weird about us being from California?
Huh?
We do something that drives Southerners crazy.
What part?
So, like, what freeway was the busiest in California?
In California, what freeway? All of them.
Pick one.
Got the 5, the 405. I mean,
What?
I never
Wait, right there. The 405.
Yeah, I'd say the 405 is probably.
You put the word the. No. You put the word the in front of the freeway.
Oh.
The 5 freeway, the 405,
okay, yeah.
the 605. They're like, why do you always put the in front of the freeway number? We do that.
They do the same thing in Seattle. Washington.
There's a car wreck on 65. It used to be in California, we'd say on the 65.
Yeah.
But they don't use the. Serious, think about it.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Believe me. Like I said,
is that funny?
Living in Seattle.
So we're so retarded.
If you were to say, like, I would tell them, yeah, I got to take the 5 into Seattle. And they'd be like, what? No, it's I-5. I'm like, who cares if it's an interstate? I mean, I didn't care when I was in California.
I never did that.
Never worried about it.
I never said I-5. But there's something to do with the numbers. Like odd is like east and west, and evens north and south.
No, other way around.
Other way around. That's right.
Because 5 goes from San Diego all the way to.
So north and south is odd numbers.
Yes, east and west is even.
3 digits is like interstate.
It's kind of weird when you go into Nashville. You got the what is it, the 40? Is it the 43 that goes around?
The 144.
Is it 44?
I think it's 144. I don't know.
I gotta look it up. It's one highway that just goes like completely around Nashville.
I thought it was the 144 that did that. I have no idea, dude. I try and stay out of that area. I'm near Nashville. I try and not go into the city that often. Stay out in the country. It's comfortable. We got enough stores here that I don't need to go unless I'm going to a concert or I'm going to
I think it's the 40.
a performance or a play or whatever. Then you go into the city.
Kind of a mix.
Or a hockey game.
The 65, 40, and 24 all go around Nashville.
Yeah, it's all messed up. When I first came here, I was blown away.
You could take the 40.
All the freeways intertwine here.
Yeah.
Way crazy. California wasn't that bad.
I mean, you could easily get lost in Nashville on the highways.
Yeah.
Miss an exit and you're like, where the hell am I?
I remember the first time I came here. I'm like, I'm changing freeways again. It's been 2 minutes.
It's been 2 seconds. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I'm jumping on another freeway and another freeway. I mean, it was nonstop.
Actually, like when you were going from
maybe the 440, James says.
Okay.
Was it the 440? That's probably it. You're probably right, James.
The one that goes below. But if you're coming from north of Nashville, take the 65.
Right.
Then you jump on the 40. Then you're jumping onto another highway to get to Bellevue.
Hey, James asked you a question about what game you're playing.
Last night I was playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, the one Charles was talking about?
Yeah.
He liked it.
He really liked my buddy Jeff. He really likes it.
Why don't you like it?
It was.
Come on.
It's slow. It's really slow.
Okay. The
It's
story slow or the
and
action,
then I'd say the action,
right?
the story. I mean, the story's story. It's going to be.
Well, Charles Old,
And then there's a lot of dialogue. Like you beat something or whatever, and then you go in to talk to somebody or whatever after you beat that area or that town or whatever, and then
but
you
you
talk
have to do a
to
lot of
somebody, they
reading.
sit there and talk, and they
They
talk, and they
they
talk.
don't do they voice or do you have to read it?
No, they voice.
Okay.
They do have voice, but um, it's just a lot of dialogue. So I just kind of I skip through it so I can get back to the action. I don't even pay
And
attention
so
to the
you don't
dialogue.
give a crap about the story of the game.
Not really.
Some people, honestly, some people love it. I
There's
can't knock it because some people really like to get into the story.
yeah.
They like the
Like
talking and
what is it?
everything,
I played Lords of the Fallen that also has like a storyline to it, but it
right?
incorporates it with the game. It doesn't feel like when they do the storyline or the dialogue that you're stagnant. You know what I mean? You in I guess Lords of the Fallen they just kind of incorporate it with whatever activity you're doing. Like, okay, you're doing this, and this is why you're doing this, and
And you're still on Xbox,
happening.
right? You're
I'm
still
on
on Xbox.
PlayStation.
Oh, you're on PlayStation?
Yeah, I'm on the PS5.
Oh, sorry. But you do have Xbox also.
I do have Xbox.
Okay.
I have Series X.
Are you gonna get Nintendo Switch too?
I don't think I have to. I think Janet's gonna buy it. No,
Dude, you didn't just say the J word, did you?
but
What is she, your
no,
sugar daddy?
even such, I wouldn't spend money on the Switch 2. It's kind of like Jeff sent me a link last night while we were in stream and
Wait. Everybody wants to know
cartridges,
who Jeff is.
JMP.
Oh, okay. Got it.
He sent me a link and it basically it says that the cartridges that they sell you for Nintendo Switch games
Right.
is literally just for the license itself. There's no game content on it whatsoever.
Right. He said JMP said 100% better than Assassin's Creed Shadows. I've heard some bad things about that game. I don't
Assassin's
know
Creed
why.
Shadows?
Yeah, it looked good, but
Well,
it
here
lets you
I'll put
play.
it this way: if you're Christian, it goes against all your beliefs.
Is it
Every
woke?
oh yeah, oh yeah. You got guy on guy. You got
Are
girl
you
on
serious?
girl. You got
Ugh.
what is it? Not bisexual. What is that called when they're non-conforming or whatever?
Non-binary,
Non-binary. That's it.
right?
They got non-binary. They got.
What does non-binary look like?
I have no idea.
Do they have a nose?
It's the Fruit Loop clan, you know.
No, seriously. Because like it says gender. It says male, female, non-binary. I'm like, what is non-binary? What's that look like?
They
Do
they
they
get
look
rid of
different?
they get rid of their organs altogether.
Right. I mean, pretty soon they're gonna have cat, dog, horse.
Oh, they
I'm
already
like,
got that.
no,
They're
but
furries.
pretty soon they're gonna acknowledge that the drop-down menu ain't big enough.
Yeah.
What if I identify as a toaster? You gonna put that in the list?
Well, yeah.
You gonna
I
put
mean,
every object in America
there's a
in the
trend on that
list?
too.
Yeah, I know. And I'm sure I'm not the only person that feels that way. In fact, we're gonna start protesting.
What's up, Rob?
We're gonna throw toast at people's cars driving by. That's right. Because I identify as a toaster. I can't even keep a straight face. Never mind.
That's so funny.
But
There are a lot of people out there like protesting all this crap, and they're
yeah, they're called universities. That's
yeah.
all they do. Literally, that's all they do. They
Oh,
don't
speaking
teach
of
it.
universities, did
What?
you hear about have you ever heard of Brandon Tatum?
Mm,
He's a
No.
religious conservative
What do you
podcast.
do?
He went to do. I mean, you've heard of Turning Point USA, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so he went to do a Turning Point USA event at was it UC Davis? I think it's called. I think that's the church or the school that he went to. And I guess there was well, can't tell you if it was Antifa or not, but there was people dressed up in black hoods and
Somebody who got paid.
and they took his the gazebo thing or the tent that they
Right.
put up.
Right.
They took that. They took all his signs and all that, and they were hitting people. They were
Okay.
attacking
So
people.
it amazes me.
The cops that were at the event just stood there and watched.
I know. It amazes me. You know, you can't, it's like people like they protest, but they don't protest about everything equally.
No.
Bad things. People can be murdered right in front of them. Oh, we're only here because of meat.
Yeah.
People are being murdered. How about you protest against that? No, we're here to stop the slaughter of meat.
Yeah.
Protests are crazy. I would never. In fact, I told Jack, I'm never sending you to college. Sorry. You tell me what you want to be.
It's a waste of money unless you're trying to become a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, I know he was. It was a rock star or an NFL player at first.
I mean,
there's no way I needed college.
I went to a community college and I got a graphic design degree. And
I know. I poured coffee and I got full time on the radio.
It's a piece of paper that does nothing for me. And what else?
Can I tell you a secret?
I could probably have learned everything that I've learned at the college off of YouTube.
Okay, can I tell you a secret?
Huh?
I know 3 people that have lied on their resume saying they have a bachelor's degree and have fabricated a school that doesn't exist. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Not once. They've probably collectively been to 15 different jobs in the last decade. They never were asked to show their degree. I'm not encouraging that. I'm not for lying and all that. I'm not for it. But they never were asked to see bring your bachelor's on the interview.
It really doesn't matter.
It's so stupid. Nobody checks. Oh, yeah, I got a master's degree. You want me to operate on your brain? I'm good.
No, James, you don't expose people. That's not right.
Who are these people, Jack? They're personal people I know. No, I'm not going to expose them. That's just, you know what? No, what everybody needs to do, you want to expose them? Great. Ask for proof from now on.
Exactly.
If you can't speak English, I want to see proof you're American.
You don't have to proof. It takes a 5-second or 15-minute call to the school. Hey,
no,
you're checking on a graduate.
Well, one of the people picked a school that burned down.
Yeah.
So you could check the records. That's freaking brilliant, dude.
I think I know somebody that did that.
What?
I think I know somebody that did that.
Oh, okay. You did too? You do too?
Yeah.
Not the same person. This is back in California. This guy.
I know.
Yeah, the guy that I'm referring to, I don't think you know.
I don't know that person.
No. But the bottom line is, look, you're interviewing for a job. If you truly believe in hiring the right person for the job, they make you take tests, personality tests and all that. How about you show your degree? You went to school for 4 years. You got a degree.
Yeah.
Show it. Bring it. Pull it off the wall. Bring it to the interview. Not once has any of the 3 people been asked to show their degree.
Looks like Rob says he's all the people retired with college degrees have had background checks and actually contacted the colleges. That's good. I mean, that's the way to combat it. I mean, that's obviously the way to combat it.
Rob, that is such.
But I mean,
that's so rare.
That's only one. That's one part of it. For one, yeah, like you said, it's rare, but it's also
15 jobs, Rob.
Degree, like
collectively,
there's employers that won't even accept a degree even if you have one. They'd much
Right.
rather have experience.
Well, yeah, exactly. I come from the school of hands-on. So whatever it is you want to do, start at the bottom, work your way up.
Yep.
That's all. There's always a bottom. There's a janitor. There's a there's always a bottom. You
Yeah.
know. Oh, and by the way, if you're a janitor, go for it. If that's
No, I
your
mean,
job,
you're
you're
doing something.
okay.
You're making your way up. That's
Right.
there's
Plus,
nothing
you
wrong.
learn by
You're
watching.
actually out there doing something, trying to get a handout from the government.
I got to see radio up close. I got to pull the commercials for the DJs. I got to change songs when I went to the bathroom. I got to do all that stuff that a DJ does. And then when it was time to go, I was ready. What's
I
wrong?
think there's
Got
so
to the bathroom?
no, I'm thinking. I think it was on Catella in California. On Catella, I
What
think
was on? What was on
there's
Kentucky?
a radio station.
Not the one I worked at.
No.
That was at the mall.
This was a small building. It kind of looked like almost
Was
like
it
a
KZY?
could be
It had to have been because there was only Kick FM and KZY at the time.
in Orange County.
Yeah. I mean, there
Yeah.
were some other ones, but they were not, real. They were kind of like on AM. That's not considered real. But yeah, the one at Catella, I was close to
Sorry, it was Ball Road.
You sure it wasn't Kick FM?
The studios were located on Ball
That
Road.
was probably KZY.
Yeah, KEZ. That's what I'm looking up. KEZY.
Yeah.
In Anaheim,
My
California.
boss came from KZY.
But
he was my
no,
teacher. I went to JC. So I did go to college. I went to junior college. I did broadcasting. I sucked in the classroom. I got a D in the classroom, but I got an A plus on the mic. So,
hey.
I didn't give a. I don't care how this microphone is built. I don't care how it works. That was the classroom. Talking on it, that was the mic. That was lab. That's where I got the A plus.
That makes sense.
But
yeah, Rob, he said we had military contracts that would audit us, so they had to do background checks, and he actually rescinded an offer to somebody because they lied.
Yeah, I was. I wasn't considered the janitor. No, I was considered an intern. So I would intern. So I worked for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would still pull commercials, change songs, play bumpers. I did everything the DJ did because the DJ usually would leave the room and say, "Hey Jack, do me a favor. I don't have to talk for another 15 minutes. Run the show, and I'll be right back." And he would leave. He or she. There was some great guys, great girls on the air at that time, and so I got to push the buttons and all that. I remember one advice he gave me. He said, "Do me a favor." When I got on the air, I'm like blah blah, bring brand new, right?
Yeah.
Like blah 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 blah. Blah. I would talk about everything, and then he calls me. What?
That's like even uncommon, isn't it? In radio, I mean, there's some like to actually be able to have a spot to where you can sit there and chat and like
back then it was the 90s. I mean,
there's a lot of this is the weather, this is what's playing next, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you did the traffic, you did everything, right? So he walks in, he turns off my microphone. He says, "Jack," he says, "write this down." He said, "It's the only advice, that and one other thing." He said, "Don't open the mic unless you have something to say. Something good. Don't open the mic just because it's there. You don't have to talk all the time." So I didn't.
It worked very well, did it?
No, the other advice he gave me was, he said, "Do me a favor. He said, turn up the volume in your headphones when you're listening to your voice while you're talking, because you come across the radio yelling. You come across like you're screaming because you can barely hear yourself in your own headphones. So he turned me up, and dude, it fixed it completely. It was totally natural. It was totally normal after that. I'm like, oh my gosh. So
Night and day difference.
it was totally. It was so so much fun. You used to say, I used to do overnights, and I'd be like, man, I'm getting hungry. Like 6 steak dinners would show up at the door. I'm like, and that wasn't why I said it. I wasn't looking for food. But that's the kind of people that people were back then.
Yeah.
Today they'd throw a shoe at your window.
Kind of you. Like I sit there and watch some of these podcasters, and people throw money at people and podcasters. And it's like, wow.
Yeah, I have a big problem with some of the money asking. I don't. Rob was around when I did memberships. I tried the YouTube membership bullcrap, and I thought that's screwed. Most of the people listening to me are struggling.
Yeah.
Why should I get a free ride? Right? Why should I take money from you?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and it bothered me that I stopped doing memberships. I haven't done them since. I tried to do it. I remember talking to Rob about it.
Well, I think they have their place. I think they have their place. Like for somebody like us, our viewer count's not too big. So I mean, like
it's not about viewer count. It's about quality. It's about the time you put. I don't put a lot of time into my videos.
The point I'm getting at,
real. You do it like you do a news broadcast, okay?
Yeah.
You spend a good 10 hours preparing.
Yeah.
Getting all the stories together, writing it up, scripting everything, getting the graphics together. There's a lot of work that goes into that. I knew a guy who used to sing a cappella. He would perform 12 roles. He'd film himself 12 times. He'd edit 100 hours of video.
Oh,
he would work on the video 100 hours.
Oh, yeah.
That's how long it took him to produce. Well, guess what? He deserves every dime he gets.
Yeah.
But, dude, stirring chocolate chips into a batter? Come on. How dare I ever ask for money? Watch tomorrow. Hey, here's my Patreon.
Yeah.
I should do that just to anger people and have them write me.
I did.
You never took money and blah, blah, blah.
I did actually open a Patreon just in case.
I did too, but I never used it.
But no, I think a paid membership has its uses. Like I said, for smaller streams,
it depends on material. It doesn't matter size.
Hold on. Listen to my point. So with a smaller viewer count, you can actually sit here and read the chat. Like I can sit here and like Michael, he just came in and said, "Hey, hello everyone." Rob, when he came in, I could address them, right?
So you're saying, wait.
So when you got
starting out, you should earn $1.
When a large viewer count and that chat just keeps moving, right?
Right.
You literally cannot. Kind of like yesterday when I was falling behind on the chat. I had to scroll back.
15 hours behind, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
I was so embarrassed.
It is hard to make that happen. It's hard to keep up with who's saying what and what's being asked. So a membership would isolate that. Hey, throw a $5 super chat in there. Bam. Now I get it like that. And I can focus on that. And it's not the money. It has nothing to do with the money. It's more of like now I can isolate those chats and I can respond to them a lot more effectively.
I know. Sometimes it's a question, a super chat. Sometimes like James, you can point out something that he thinks you screwed up on.
Yeah.
But and sometimes it's free Palestine.
Like if I was to go into say Tim Pool, for example, right? his chat's just scrolling up that freaking feed, big time. I could
Right.
say the most horrendous thing, saying something bad about children or something like that, and you would never know because by the time it would never even get read. It would never
Yeah.
even get seen.
Okay, there's a way around that. I'm never gonna say it. I'll tell you privately.
Okay.
There's a way to get seen, to get your
Okay.
question seen. Okay. It's not a super chat. It's not, cursing or none of that. There is a way, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I'll tell you off broadcast. But in fact, if I was watching a podcast and they weren't answering my question, so I would do this method. Okay. Now everybody's thinking.
Yeah.
Everybody's like,
well, what is it?
okay, I'm gonna try it. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It comes from, growing up next to the radio, waiting for that song you requested.
Yeah.
You talked to the DJ 14 hours ago. They still haven't played it. They say to get right to it. What a bunch of crap. I always hated that. I never. I mean,
Yeah.
the minute I promise somebody,
they'd sit there and promote it, be like, "Hey, send
yeah,
us your request." Okay, well, I
the
did.
moment I took a phone call and somebody would request Travis Trouble, or some song by Travis, I would pull it immediately and put it on the table in front of me. I would never not deliver that
Yeah.
because it pissed me off. I
Yeah.
hated it. Why would I do it to somebody else? Take care of people. If you can't get to it, I would tell them, I don't have time. I got 10 more commercials. I got 15 people ahead of you requesting. I can't get to your song. But I would be truthful.
Yeah.
They would know. I remember because I
But
was an over.
what if they doubled up? Like, say, two people asked for the same song.
Well,
that
then I would pretend I was taking care of that person and taking care of the other person. I don't know.
I mean, I imagine
Usually they never did. I don't think that ever happened in radio.
Really?
Well,
Surprised.
when I was on the air, there was 60,000 people listening.
Yeah.
So at any given moment, 3 a.m, 60,000 people were listening.
Wow, that's
With
crazy.
supermarkets, gas stations. What was the the Marine base
Which one?
down in San Diego?
There's Camp Pendleton.
Camp Pendleton, yes. That they were always listening. I used to talk to the military police all the time.
Oh, okay.
Chat,
very cool.
Shoot the crap. It was great. There was a whole new breed of people in the overnight.
Yeah.
But I would never tell them I could get to their song if I couldn't get to it.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Did you ever listen?
I did.
Okay.
It's been a long time though, but
do you remember at 2 a.m. what I used to do? The 2 a.m. red eye special?
Yeah.
You remember that? What was that? You remember?
I don't.
Okay.
I remember
the 2 a.m. red eye special. Right at 2 a.m., we would play the hottest, loudest, fastest country music. We would play like Confederate Railroad. We would play Travis Tritt. We would play Hank Williams Jr., all the rock and country.
Yeah.
As loud as we could. The reason we did the 2 a.m. red eye special was to wake people up. We figured if you're working the overnight, 2 a.m. is when you start to doze off.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of that, I did that once. I fell asleep on the air once. Only once. But, yeah, we used to do it every night. At 2 a.m., we turn the volume all the way up because it's going to get rowdy.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. I miss radio. It was. Oh, and some of those visits were fun, too. But we'll talk about that on another channel.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about this on your show. But anyway, yeah, it was a blast.
That is cool.
Those were some good years.
Oh yeah, I miss radio.
That's when I met Keith. Well, I wonder. Great. It's getting old.
Well, cause see, like I used to listen
Who's the
to.
guy that just died? Who's the country star that just died? Stomach cancer.
God, I don't
Should have
know.
been a cowboy. I know his song.
That's what it's called.
Who sang? I'm gonna ask the chat room. Who sang "I Should Have Been a Cowboy"?
Toby Keith.
That's it. I met him.
Did he
was a
really
nice.
just die?
Yeah.
No way.
Oh my God. Yeah. Dude, it was so sad. I was so upset. He was a great guy.
Yeah.
There's an American guy, a singer.
Wow. What did
He
Stomach
literally, I will tell you right now, guys, I'll go on record. He has the #1 Christmas album in my life. I play it every year. I play it all Christmas time. It's amazing.
wow.
Every song
Yeah,
on his Christmas album is an original, but one. One's a cover tune. The other 9 or 10 or whatever, they're all originals. The album's called Christmas to Christmas. It literally is the best Christmas album I've ever heard. To this day. Better
Yeah.
than Johnny Mathis, Bing Crosby.
Rob says he remembers waiting 2 hours to hear a request he made.
Mm-hmm.
Longest 2 hours of his life.
That's right. That's right. And Rob, that's so cool that they played it, but come on. Really? You can swap in radio, you can easily swap out songs. We have a sheet of songs.
Especially nowadays. I mean, it's got to be, with it all digitized, sure, it's got to be a whole lot easier now.
Hey, who's calling? Janet?
No, Xfinity.
What do they want?
Probably trying to chat to swap my phone over.
I'm getting all nosy now.
Let's see. Michael, he says, does Gen Z even know what radio is? Something streaming can't do is radio. DJs
Well,
curation and
Sirius XM's still around. That's radio. I mean, radio's still around.
Yeah, so, Sirius XM is still around.
Yeah, I mean, we got radio out here in Nashville.
Somebody I work with, he uses Sirius XM.
Do you know? Remember Sean Parr?
Yeah.
You know he's DJ. He's still on the radio, right?
Is he?
He's in Nashville.
Yeah, you told me radio. Yeah, you told me about that.
So anyway, that's the guy. Cool. He was the morning man.
He's still doing
Go after me. What?
Is he still doing country music?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's still in country, but he's obviously a lot older. But I used to pour him a big bowl of cereal before he always came in running late. So I made sure his breakfast was waiting for him. I had all his commercials pulled. So the rule was, before the next DJ takes over, you have to pull 2 hours of commercials so that he doesn't have to. But when I came on, there was 2 hours pulled for me. So it was only cordial to keep doing it.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
You kind of pass it on.
He was a nice guy. Overall, he was a nice guy. At the time, he was a ladies' man, being the morning DJ.
Yeah. I bet.
Yeah. But now, now times are different. But, do you remember Richard Blade from LA?
Richard Blade? No.
From K-Rock.
No. God.
You remember K-Rock?
All the time.
Okay. Richard Blade is a DJ from K-Rock.
Line. I used to listen to Love Line.
You remember Jed the Fish?
Yes.
Okay. If you look on the back of Oingo Boingo's album, they thank him. He was the first person on radio to ever play Oingo Boingo.
Wow.
Ever. He broke them. So they got thanks on the back of the album. It's a little mini LP. I have it. They're like one of my favorite bands. But yeah, they thank Jed the Fish from K-Rock. On Sirius XM, the new wave channel that was like K-Rock.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Richard Blade's on it. He's still doing it. Still doing radio. So anyway,
Well, I mean, a lot of people, like especially if you're in radio, you tend to last quite a while. I mean,
yeah,
like was it Rick Dees? He was
he's
in there.
still alive, dude.
Is
I
he
looked him,
really?
I looked him up yesterday. It's so funny you
No
said
way.
that. I've
No
met
way.
Rick Dees. He's
I
still
can't believe
doing.
he's still alive.
He's still doing the top 40. Rick Dees and the weekly top 40. He's
Yeah, I see that.
syndicated now.
What station is he doing it
Uh,
for? Is he doing it online?
I don't know, but wasn't he the first? Wasn't he the person who did Disco Deck, the song?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Known for
he did
we
the
have
song
to be
Disco
like
Deck.
that.
I didn't know he did
La
it.
Bamba.
I thought he played it, but no, he made that song. Not that any of you will ever remember that song, but there was a song called Disco Deck. It went big in California. I don't know if it went big nationwide, but yeah,
Wow.
that was
That's insane that he's still
yeah.
around.
Enough about that. We're boring people.
That's crazy that he's still around though. Jesus.
Yeah,
That's
I can't find a current picture of
born
him
in
now.
1950.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
what it looks like today,
there is no
but
pictures of him today.
he was not always the nicest of people. He did have an ego, huge. But just so you know, I'll tell you guys now. I never admitted it. We used to get phone calls at Kick FM in Orange County
Yeah.
instead of Kiss FM in Hollywood, right?
Okay.
So they're like, "Hey, is this Kiss FM?" And I'm like, "Who's this?" And they're like, "Am I the 20th caller?" I'm like, "Oh my god, yeah, you are. You're the 20th caller. Congratulations! Come on down to the Kiss FM studio in Hollywood."
That's
I used to send
funny.
people all the time to the radio station.
That's funny.
Yeah, it wasn't nice, but
No.
those were my 20s. But I thought it was funny all the time. We're Kick FM, we're not Kiss FM.
Yeah.
But they thought I was in Hollywood. So I'd say, yeah, come on down. Just tell the security guard at the bottom. Too funny.
I can only imagine the security guard down there.
I
Like,
can only imagine
what?
how
What?
angry I made people.
No.
That's horrible.
You got the wrong place, guy.
But I did it. It's, truth.
That is just too funny.
You can't do that anymore, even with the
You're talking about the
USB.
headphone wire as your antenna.
Yeah.
I never did that.
What do you mean is your antenna? Who
I
uses
imagine
it?
that you'd put you'd wrap it around the antenna. Like if
Mhm.
it broke off, you'd wrap it around the stub or whatever, and then
Right.
try to use that as an extension out the window or something to get a better reception.
Do you remember our TVs had antennas? How
I do
stupid
remember
was
that.
how stupid was that?
That's crazy.
And my parents' remote control, you know what it was? Me. Get up and change the channel to channel 4.
Actually, do you remember when cable first started coming out and they had the touchpad or the button
Okay,
pad,
let me ask you a
and
question.
you sit there and switch channels with that button pad?
All right, I'm gonna ask a personal question. Okay, do you remember they would scramble like Select TV or HBO? Used to be scrambled.
Yeah,
Unless you were a subscriber,
yeah,
it was all messed up.
yeah,
And then as a teenager growing up, you'd watch all the adult films scrambled.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
I
you didn't even have to have cable for
nobody
that.
ever admits that. You would sit there and like naked bodies would be all
Like
scrambled, and you'd be
you
like,
like scramble, and you're like
I
every
think
once in a
that's
while.
yeah, I think that's a boob. I think, yeah, that's gotta be and that's a kneecap. You get you get excited about a kneecap. But you know what? Just being honest. Might as well take all the skeletons out of the closet. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they're back in the day. I mean, God,
We
I
used
remember
to,
you
as
had it was
kids, we
a
would
dial to
sit.
change. I remember having to change the dial on the TV to get a different channel.
Yeah,
I remember there
there
was such
was
a thing as
VHF and UHF.
yeah, VHF and UHF.
There was 2 knobs. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I know.
I
And
remember.
then the knob would break off. Every family in America had the channel locks. And
Oh
the
yeah,
channel it
yeah.
was all attached.
Well, it's kind of
That's the
like
only way you could change the channel.
back in the day when cars didn't have electronic windows or whatever, so you had
Right.
the knob, and I do remember, like I don't think it was my parents' car, but I do
You
remember
remember
being in
cranking
a
the window
car,
up?
cranking it up with channel locks.
Yep.
You're like,
Oh yeah.
that's your window knob.
Man, we were messed up. I remember ashtrays being on airplanes. They were
Really?
on the armrest.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Remember,
I
you
remember
would
that.
flip them open and they were
Yeah,
all stinky. And
yeah, I remember
we did
that.
we did some crazy things. We used to drive without seatbelts, guys. My mom's car didn't even have seatbelts. She had a Comet.
I actually owned a car without seatbelts in it.
Yeah,
I had a what
we
is
were
it,
dangerous back then.
I had a '65 Mustang.
We were
And it didn't have
bulletproof. That's
didn't
right.
have
We
any
could live
compass.
forever, dude. We could eat out on our big wheel and fly across the yard and like face plant in the dirt, and we'd be okay.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the wind blows
Oh,
and your butt cheeks get chapped, and you're complaining to mommy and daddy.
did you ever go to the apartments I grew up in?
Which ones?
The Trask apartments,
I think I did. Yeah,
right behind the old drive-in theater.
yeah, I think I did.
So there was a swing set, metal poles, it looked like a giant arch.
Did you launch off the swing sets?
No, no, no. I climbed up to the top,
Are you
jumped,
serious?
jumped off those.
Oh
Oh
no,
yeah.
not me.
Those
I
things,
used to
they were
swing real high and then let go and get off the swings and
I would
launch.
say they're at least 15 feet high, and you'd jump off of them. Yeah.
That's crazy.
We did nut or crazy things.
Yeah, we did stupid things, dude.
Let's see, what was it? The same apartment complex. We'd go into the back. There's the back alley, and you jump up onto one of the poles that were there to protect the wall. You jump on that to get up onto the roof of the carport. We sit there and run around on there, hide from people.
Okay, did you ever steal boxes of donuts from the back of the donut place?
No, no,
Day old donuts.
I never did that.
We would wait for them to set them in the dumpster. Yeah, that's probably why I'm fat. And we would grab a whole box of day old donuts. Like, these are
However,
fine.
there was
You had to get them right when they went in, or it was trash.
yeah,
If you left it, you weren't there right when they were set in. Forget it. Don't touch them.
yeah, bugs will start getting into them.
Oh my gosh, that's so gross, dude. We
I
did
do
so many
remember
crazy
going
things.
into because, like I said, I grew up right next door to a drive-in,
Right.
and we'd be able to rip off the sound from the
Oh,
drive-in.
on the FM dial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we could
Watch
also
movies for free.
the next morning after the movie had played, we can go inside the theater and like scrounge whatever people had dropped left behind. I remember those
When
days.
is the last restaurant you went to that still had a smoking section? Probably Las Vegas. Las Vegas,
Yeah,
you can
I can
still
see that.
smoke.
I can
Yeah,
see that.
Las Vegas, you can still smoke anywhere. They have rooms that are non-smoking, but otherwise, you're allowed to smoke throughout the casino, in the cafe, in the restaurant. But you're right. I remember when smoking became illegal.
Well, see,
That was big news.
I
Then the
remember
nightlife died.
in Anaheim there was a restaurant right there off of Ball Road and on Brookhurst that I would go into, and I think it was Brookhurst, could have been Euclid. Anyway, you would go in there and they had a separate complete section for smoking.
Really?
Yeah,
It was opposite where I went.
almost like a patio. It was kind of
Wow.
like a covered patio, and I mean it still had like the it had like the not the
People used
actual
to smoke
walls.
while they ate. It was
Yeah,
so
oh yeah,
gross.
that's so gross.
Like,
Um,
oh my gosh.
but
I'm
yeah,
so
I mean,
glad they outlawed it. It was
I
nasty.
remember I remember going into this one bar that was actually I think it's still there. What's it called? Corner Lounge. It's right there off of Chapman and Dale.
The only time I went to bars was when I was
Magnolia, something
DJing
like
them.
that. But anyway, I go in there and they still allowed smoking even after they were making it illegal.
Yeah.
It was like that gray
Some of
period.
the clubs I worked at did.
You could,
Also.
as long as you had like those ventilators or whatever inside there, you could actually
No,
allow.
some just ignored the law at first.
Yeah,
And
yeah, there
then
was
people
but
started complaining.
there was like I said, the bar I went into, you could still smoke because they had the ventilators, like 2 or 3 ventilators in this really small freaking room that would blow the smoke up out. So
I don't know if you know this. You remember I was DJing, obviously country. There was a thing you did at nightclubs, like country bars.
okay,
Line dancing was big, all that crap.
yeah, I remember that.
Denim and Diamonds, Cowboy Boogie.
Yeah,
Remember all that? Okay.
yeah, I remember all that.
So
I was still too
you
young for
like
that kind of stuff, but
so if a girl liked you or you liked a girl, whatever, vice versa, you would rip their jean label off,
what?
tear it off their pants. You know the patch? Remember the patch? It
Okay,
would say the waist size and all that,
yeah, yeah.
and the length of the pants and all that. You would rip the Levi label off, and if you on the first pull, you got it off, you would be with them for the night. That was a thing. That
That was
wasn't that wasn't a thing in the clubs. Yeah.
that's crazy.
So like you see an ugly girl come near you, you'd be like protective. You'd be like, nope, not getting your hand on that. I
I
remember
don't suck these days. I mean, a pair of Levi's is like $60, $70.
I know. Well, today it's different.
Yeah.
I remember Cowboy John. It was the funniest thing ever. Dude, Cowboy John went up to a cowgirl at the bar, took his hat off and said, "Hey, how you doing?" He goes, "You're smoking hot, right?" And then she turned around. Dude, she was fubugly. She was so ugly.
Oh
I'd
God.
rather date my dog. I mean, she was ugly. And he's sitting here with his hat in his hand, like, he's like, "Oh my God." And he ran off.
With Roger Rabbit on him.
His name was Cowboy John. He was
Oh,
one
that's
of the regulars on the radio with me. It was so funny. It
that's
was
so
so
funny.
funny. I turned like she literally turned around like she's all happy and everything, and he saw her face and he's like,
Oops.
"Ooh, bad move," and he
Sorry.
got out of there real quick.
Sorry, I got the wrong person.
Nightclubs were brutal back then.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm kind of bummed that today's youth doesn't know what going out dancing, the nightclub scene that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I think it still does, but I
I
don't
mean,
think
there are very few people like Hispanics,
I don't think it's the same atmosphere.
right?
Then.
It's kind of like a lost art.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on. Peppers, Red Onion, Black Angus, Baxter's. We had restaurant chains that had nightclubs attached to them.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
God, where was
there was a lot of them.
There's
Rubens.
one in Washington that was still like that.
Really?
Yeah, when I was living in
You could
Washington.
dance the night away after dinner.
Yeah, they turned the restaurant into a nightclub after. I actually went and saw somebody live there with a friend of mine.
Yeah,
I think
there's some
he was actually, or
dude.
one of our
There's
other
some
friends.
stories I could tell everybody about the nightclub scene, but I won't. Like, all right, I'll tell you one story. So the first job I ever had was DJing at Holiday Inn in Fullerton. It was called, what was the club called? Crap! Why am I having memory problems? So stupid. It was the nightclub inside the Holiday Inn.
Okay.
And so I was the DJ. And the first night I was there, and by the way, DJs made good money back then. They were making, that was like the 80s, and they would make 20 some odd dollars an hour in the 80s just to play music. Crazy. So I was told my first night,
Back then?
yeah, back then. So, and I came out of high school. So I started DJing with a fake ID to prove
What?
I was 21, even though I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so I was DJing like 18, making $20 an hour back in the 80s. So the waitress came up and she goes, by the way, I know you're brand new. Tonight's your first night. All rookies, because you're considered a rookie, all rookies have to go around, empty the house, check the bathrooms, clean them out. If there's any mess in there on the counters and stuff,
Yeah.
throw tissues out and all that. So I'm like, okay. So I went, stupid me, right?
Oh
I'm a
God.
teenager. I go into the ladies' room, and there is a tampon. Like, you put it this way, you couldn't use it anymore. It couldn't hold another drop. Okay. It was drenched. It was drenched, and I almost threw up. I go running out screaming like a schoolgirl. Like, I ain't cleaning that crap up. And they are on the ground laughing because it was a joke. They had
Oh, okay.
planted it and poured grenadine
Okay.
onto it. I mean, like a gallon of grenadine. And I freaked out, dude, because I'm still a teenager. I never saw that crap.
Yeah.
Literally, I think that was the first tampon I ever saw, a used tampon. And I almost lost my junk. I'll
Oh,
never forget it. The waitresses were rolling on the floor.
I'm so glad I
And
never had that. I never
they
had
do
that
that.
problem.
They do that to every rookie. So, but I didn't clean it up. Screw that. Forget that. But
Even after you
anyway,
found out it was just grenadine.
yeah, it was just grenadine. It was
Yeah.
a brand new tampon they
Did
poured
you
on.
ever figure that out, or did you?
No, they told me afterwards. After they were done laughing at me
Okay.
for an
Okay.
hour. It was. I
Oh,
was some damaged material.
I
I
bet.
was freaked out. I'm like, I'm never coming
Done.
in the
Here's
hotel parking lot. I'm never coming near this place again. Oh, it's called Capers Nightclub. That was it.
okay.
Do you remember that?
No.
Capers.
Nope.
It
Never
was
heard
so
of it.
dead. Dude, to tell you how old it was, do you remember Star Tours at Disneyland?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Do you remember how long it's been around?
Oh, God. 80s.
When I was
80s?
working at the club, Capers, the guy who built it came to the hotel.
Yeah. You were talking about this on another stream.
What?
You were talking about this on another stream.
Yeah. He literally unrolled the blueprint and showed me Star Tours before it was built.
That's crazy.
I was there the day it opened because he told me it was a secret opening at Disneyland. He said, look, this is the ride that we're building.
87.
Yeah. That's when
Yeah.
when the guy showed me. He probably showed me in 86. But
Okay.
it was amazing. I'm like, wow. And that ride, I'm sure most of you have been. I think they have one in Disney World too, don't they?
I'm not sure.
Or at
got rid
the
of the
Star
link.
Wars Land or something. But
Well, now I know they have a Star Wars land.
yeah,
I don't think has anything to do with Star Tours. Because Star Tours was in Tomorrowland.
right.
But
Dude,
no, I've been on that ride. When I worked at Disneyland, not even when I probably was working at Disneyland. Because I get in for free. So late at night when the park dies down.
I remember Michael Jackson came in
You can just sit there
after the park closed.
rotate. Yeah. I was actually there for one of those.
Yeah, were you?
I wasn't there like as a
He walked
guest.
around with his entourage and got to ride. They left the whole
believe.
park for him running.
Yeah.
He ran the whole park just for Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm like,
You know that? Did you know
wow.
the park never closed, like never shuts down?
It did for about an hour
Oh
or
no, I'm
two
talking about like
for the
the
maintenance.
rides are still always
Oh
operational
yeah,
24/7.
yeah,
The music plays 24/7.
yeah.
The everything in Disneyland still runs 24/7. Um, now, as far as like the lights and stuff like that, they do dim the lights, and Main Street never shuts down.
You want to hear another mind blowing fact?
Huh?
How many people can fit in a Disneyland?
God, I couldn't even begin to tell.
Roughly, what would you think?
No,
80,000?
it's got to be more than that.
All right, 100,000?
I'd say almost 500,000 to 700,000.
Okay, just to let you know, I talked to the guy who worked there, like way up high in Disney.
Yeah.
The first 20,000 people to walk through paid for everything. Anything above
Oh, yeah.
20,000 people was gravy, meaning those people walked in, electricity was paid, salaries were paid, merchandise, overhead, everything was covered for the
Yeah.
day. Everything else was profit.
I can only imagine what it is today. Because I mean, if you really think about it, like, so
Oh, two people.
if if
Two people.
Anaheim, let's say Anaheim experiences a blackout. If
Right.
you're in the sky, like in an airplane or in satellite or whatever, the only thing lit up will be Disneyland.
Right. They have their own power
They
and
have their own
everything.
power source.
Everything. Water,
Yeah.
power, all that. So anyway, so dude, what we should do is say goodbye. Wait, let's take a look real quick.
Hold on. Like Sarah, she said that her
Hold
brother
on.
soldered a wire to a metal window screen
Okay,
and threw it up into
ladies'
her.
room is always worse than the men's room.
Oh, that's totally true.
Totally true, guy. By the way, if you go to a strip show like an exotic, not where they get naked, but you go to a ladies dancing and men tip them, or you go to a women event where the men are dancing and the women tip, night and day. Literally, women are freaking animals. I've
Oh,
never seen,
I,
because I used to DJ the exotic men's dance routine. I played the music for them,
yeah.
and it was disgusting. They were the most.
We're gonna
They
have to
did
get that.
things we would go to
Go.
jail for. They did things you. I saw one lady pull a guy's g string and snap it. I mean, they were freaking animals, dude. They couldn't tip enough. They, I could not believe the first time I realized how bad they are. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. He's like, end the song. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna watch. It was crazy, dude. Women are worse than men when it comes to that. When it comes to bathrooms, Michael Keene's right. Women's bathrooms are trash.
Well, yeah. Like I've worked Starbucks back in the day. I worked you remember this Westminster Lanes.
Yeah.
I worked there,
Uh-huh.
and
That's
if
where I
you're
met
there
Tammy.
after hours, you have to clean everything up.
That's where I
Oh my
first saw
god,
Tammy.
the bathrooms in Westminster Lanes, man, they were horrible.
Women would, I mean, like they would trash. They'd pee on the floor because they. I don't know how.
I really
I
don't
don't
know
even
how.
know how they would make this mess. I wouldn't care. I just wanted to get out. It was just scary.
Yeah,
But yeah, there is a big difference because men, I mean, you even think about touching one of the dancers, you're going to jail.
yeah.
Okay. Women can snap your G string, your junk fall out, and they're laughing about it. And they, they somehow get free drinks. I, I don't understand how it
Yeah,
was that uneven, but men got screwed all the time.
it's even worse today.
Oh, today, please. That stuff don't even happen today. Was
I'd be surprised if they still exist today.
okay,
For
Gatsby
me.
asked the question. Was MJ innocent or guilty? You
For
mean
my
of child molestation? Is that what you mean? if that's what you mean, I don't believe he did it. I don't believe he molested children. I believe there were. I don't believe it.
Yeah,
MJ
I don't.
was too powerful, so they did what they do to anyone they don't control. Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe he was murdered. I
there was
do believe
definitely
he was murdered,
there
just
was
like Prince. I think Prince was murdered. I
there's
think
news
they both were
coming out
murdered.
about that.
Say
There,
again?
there's news coming out about that Michael Jackson was in argument or like a legal dispute against Sony and all them.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
took him
there's
down.
some guys. There's some big conspiracies that he's still alive,
Yeah,
and he
I've heard
and
that.
he hate is it Anne Heach, whatever, the girlfriend of what's her face, the talk show girl. She was lesbian. Anyway,
Uh,
there's rumors she was alive when they were trying to put her dead body in the car. So there's some major rumors. Paul Walker, he was murdered because he was going to tell too much. I mean, all these actors and actresses were taken out.
yeah.
That's you can run down that rabbit hole all day long.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Easily.
I believe half of them. I believe is Robin Williams still alive? I'm hearing that
And,
too.
like what was it? I think especially with like Paul Walker, there was something about the organization that he worked with found dirt on the Clinton Foundation,
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah, Hitman
all of a sudden he
Hillary.
died.
Look out for her. But yeah, I believe she took I Anthony Bourdain, another guy that I liked a lot. I believe he was taken out.
Yeah, I heard something about that too.
We could go on all day, guys.
Oh yeah, there's plenty.
Go back and watch Michael Jackson's Super Bowl appearance. Just stood there for a few minutes before beginning, and the crowd was so loud you couldn't hear. Yeah, guys, if you're young in the chat room and you don't remember Michael Jackson, that he blew away Elvis, Beatles. He was incredible, and at the time I wasn't that much of a fan.
Well, I would almost say
Yes, Ellen
he was
DeGeneres.
definitely like Taylor Swift of our time.
Yeah, he was bigger than anything that he would make women pass out just
Yeah,
by standing in the same arena. They
yeah.
would pass out. That he was incredible, but
Oh, he was
he was
huge.
also an incredible performer. You got your money's worth with him.
Oh yeah, he definitely put on a show.
Macaulay Culkin and Corey Feldman both had their run-ins with weirdos in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, they've
I
talked.
believe, all right, honestly,
I know
I
Cole
believe
Feldman has
the
talked about it.
pedophiles and elites of Hollywood caused Macaulay Culkin and Corey, all those rumors about Michael Jackson, I believe were stirred up. And now
Well,
today
Mike,
more than ever.
Michael's saying that have only ever said good things about Michael Jackson and always felt safe with him.
Who said that?
Michael, you're reading the same thing. Macaulay Culkin and Corey Feldman.
Oh yeah. No. Any accusations were made up.
Yeah,
Serious. And his death made up. I'm not made up, excuse me. It was created. It was
yeah. You can actually watch. I think Candace Owens does a deep dive onto it.
yeah.
You can kind of watch.
That's just the beginning. Check out Prince. I think the same thing happened to him. He always fought the system. He
Oh
was
yeah,
like one of the
he was
last
a smart
people.
guy.
He
He was
would
a
go
really
on
smart guy.
Spotify.
He was
Yeah.
what was it? He was on a late night talk show, and he was like I just saw a video, a little short that he was on a talk show talking about how little musicians actually make because the record took a majority of the cut.
Oh yeah. He was the last one to give in to Spotify. He wouldn't let his library touch Spotify.
Wow.
He fought them for years. He finally gave in. But I think the guy from Nirvana, he was also killed. I
Yeah,
think
I believe it.
when they're killed out of nowhere, when you're not expecting it, when there's
Like,
no reason for it, it happened to happen.
like JFK Jr.
Yeah. Oh,
All
and
of a
the
sudden,
plane crash. Come on, or Kobe in the helicopter. Come on, let's line it up. Let's line
yeah,
them up, guys, because you're going to
Chester
find out
Bennington.
over time, sooner or later. There's
Jeff says
always somebody who knows.
Jeff says Chester Bennington was murdered.
Who?
Chester Bennington,
Who's Chester?
isn't he from Lincoln
Oh
Park?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know who that is. Yeah, yeah. He was bigger than Taylor Swift. Of course, yes, totally.
Oh yeah,
Still
he's
doesn't
definitely
have the
bigger.
global reach that
I'm
MJ
just
has.
saying to put it in perspective, the closest you can get to what
Taylor
Michael Jackson
Swift does not make
Swift.
people cry. Just doesn't. I mean, maybe 12-year-old little girls, but
No, I think the last person before him to do something to that extreme,
Elvis,
probably Elvis.
yeah, Elvis had the same effect.
But I mean, so did
Elvis,
the Beatles. The Beatles
if you've
did.
never watched the movie about Elvis's life, you should.
Yeah.
It
Oh
was
yeah.
it was pretty screwed up too. Poor guys. These entertainers, they go through hell.
Well, they got
Okay.
taken advantage of big time.
Uh, yeah, they claim Prince OD'd. I thought it was mixing his medicine or something, but maybe that was Michael Jackson. I can't remember. I can't keep all these killings straight.
I know, right?
But
And that
they
he
are
OD'd and taken
Garth
hard drugs
Brooks.
as a teenager.
Okay, the only reason the only reason Garth Brooks is alive is because he's liberal. Same with
But he's not on Spotify, Gatsby
who?
says.
Oh, Garth Brooks isn't.
No.
Hold on a minute. I thought he was. Now I gotta look.
And Gatsby also says Kurt had
Sorry,
a
Gatsby. I gotta check.
while you look that up, I'll read his next one. Kurt Cobain had a history of mental health issues, not stemmed from his stomach issues he dealt with his whole life.
Yeah,
I mean,
Kurt Cobain could go either way. They could have taken him out. He could have taken himself out. I do know he was going through struggles.
oh
That
yeah. I
makes
mean,
more
well, you live
sense.
in Washington, and at the time he was a lot, or at the
Dude,
time he was
stop
big,
it.
it was like the capital of the world for self deletion.
Garth Brooks. Nope, Garth Brooks is here on Spotify. His ultimate hits.
Him or is it his or the
No,
people?
hold on a minute. Ready?
Well, no, I'm saying did he post it?
That's Garth Brooks.
Yeah, yeah.
Ready?
6 o'clock on Friday evening, mama doesn't know she's leaving. She'll see the screen, no slamming rubber, speeding gears and jamming low.
Jack on here rocking out.
So yeah, Garth Brooks is on Spotify now. He may not have been. He may have given in. But Garth Brooks is way liberal.
Is he
Everybody
really?
out here knows it. So
No.
it's not a. So if you run into Garth Brooks, it's no big deal. Like, oh, you're on the channel. Great.
Actually, there was somebody I ran. Well, I didn't run into him, but I know people that did. Was in Nashville
Right.
was David Arquette is there in
Okay.
Nashville.
Yeah.
Another person I just barely missed. I was coming into a work a shift, and they would or the person was there beforehand, and my coworker was like, "You totally just missed this. You totally missed it." But it was Reese Witherspoon, and she only knew because of the last name because it wasn't. It was her brother or whatever, her
Right.
nephew,
Right.
whoever it was.
They were
But
using somebody else's name.
no, it had the same last name, and then she noticed who his company was.
Oh, Michael
and
Caine.
Reese
You're right.
Witherspoon
That is
was there.
copyright. Sorry about that, guys. We may get flagged.
It's only a few seconds of it.
Wait. You're not monetizing on that channel?
I'm not monetized yet.
Okay. Yeah. They're not going to touch you. Don't worry about it. Sorry about that. So what is Garth Brooks' wife's name? Trisha Yearwood, right?
Sure.
So okay, well, she's a famous country singer too.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I know who she is. I
So
just don't
Jack Jr.'s bagging her groceries.
really.
Yeah, he doesn't know who she is. Everybody's like, "Hey, we can bag her groceries." He's like, "No, I got this." So he's walking out to her car with a shopping cart of her groceries, And she started talking about her husband. And Jack's just like, yeah, whatever, right? Jack's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
So she goes, yeah, you may know my husband. And he goes, oh, really? Who is he? And she goes, Garth Brooks. And Jack goes, oh, yeah, I think I heard of him. I think he shattered her ego completely all over it was the Publix parking lot.
Oh
They
my
shop
God.
at
That's
Publix
funny.
right by me. It was so funny. He's like, Dad, I didn't know what to say. I mean, I'm not into whatever her husband. I don't know what he sings. I mean, I know he's country, but I don't know what he
Yeah,
sings.
you know the name, but you don't.
Right. I thought, sweetie, don't worry about it. She's gonna go home and cry in her $100 bills. Okay,
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
gonna lay on her bed full of money
Or
and
how's that
totally
saying go? She'll cry in her
drink her
forever.
sorrows away. So it was just funny. But anyway, I mean, I've run into I remember I finished DJing in Long Beach.
Yeah.
It was the Long Beach Sheraton.
Okay.
It's called Stanley's Nightclub. And I was coming, it was in the lobby. And Tom Selleck is standing right there. It was
Really?
2 in the morning. Tom Selleck is standing right in the middle of the lobby.
Yeah.
And I looked at him. The first thing I thought is, just leave him alone. The guy's here for a reason. He doesn't want to be bothered. And he looked at me, and I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, what's going on? That was it. And I walked off, got my car, and went home.
Oh, how funny.
I thought,
Yeah.
that's cool. It's probably he was filming a film across the street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
That's
seen.
why they had him in the hotel.
I saw who was it? Stephen Baldwin when I was in at LAX.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't want to bug him, but I wanted proof, so I took a picture. I wanted proof that I had seen him.
I don't want to bug
Trying
him,
not
but
to be rude about it or nonchalant. I was trying to be
this is
nonchalant.
the back of his head. I didn't want to bother
No,
him.
I was sitting right in front of him, like he was facing me, and I was on the other side. I was like, God, how am I going to take a picture of him without him not noticing that I've got my camera up? I mean, y'all know when you're sitting there like with the phone in your hand, like, oh my God, take a picture.
Are you
Right.
Gatsby? Hold on a minute. Okay, hold on. Gatsby, Garth Brooks' Ultimate Hit CD. Those are his songs right there. I just played one.
Like I said,
Do you not believe he's on Spotify?
no. What I'm thinking is it him or somebody else posted
No,
his?
that was him. I know the.
Okay.
Trust me, I literally
I don't know the
I know
ins and
every
outs
one of his
of Spotify.
songs. He's been to our studio when I was on the air. I know his music. I played it every day
Well,
on the
yeah.
radio. So I know literally his voice, the tone, the notes. That wasn't a cover tune. That
Well,
was
no,
him.
but like you played it on air here. He didn't endorse that. You know what I'm saying?
What are you trying to say? That Spotify allowed somebody to post music that wasn't theirs?
I don't know their rules, so I couldn't tell you.
Well,
Uh,
I have no idea. Hold on a minute. Not that it really matters, but no, they even have a follow button for the artist.
okay. Well,
So
yeah.
that's the real deal.
Well, here, Garth Brooks. Oops.
What is your hard on with Garth Brooks?
I don't care.
What are you looking up?
I'm just looking. He's primarily on Amazon Music, not Spotify, due to exclusive deal. While some live recordings
It
and
says he's
collaborations.
not on Spotify.
Yes.
I'm looking right at it.
Listen. It says while some live recordings and collaborations with other artists can be found on Spotify, his core catalog is not.
What? That's his greatest hit. I just played it.
I'm reading off of AI or
I
Google.
swear. If not, that's the best cover tune I've ever heard. The best.
Availability on Spotify. It says there's a limited availability. While his main catalog isn't on Spotify, some live recordings and collaborations. See, I don't know.
His greatest hits is. Wait, what's the date of that article, dude?
That's AI. It's not an article.
That's AI?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, AI still can't draw a man with just 2 legs. Has trouble
You
with
know
it.
that AI can't make a full glass of wine?
What do you mean?
it can't make, like, if you were to say,
Hold
show
on,
me a
hold on.
picture of a
I gotta test it out now. Hold on.
glass of wine filled to the brim, it can't do it.
Okay, hold on a minute. Show me an image of a glass of wine filled to the brim.
I can't show you an image, but picture this: a tall, elegant
No,
wine
I don't.
glass, ruby
No.
red wine,
Okay.
right up to the very top.
Shut up.
Spilling over with a glossy shine.
How about
Sounds
this? How about you shut the frick up? Okay, so that one didn't work. Hold on a minute. Let's go to Chat GPT.
What else was I gonna say?
Hold on. A image of a glass of wine filled to the brim.
Oh, I did see Kevin Smith.
Oh, the director?
Yeah, I saw him in life, real life.
I hear he's a nice guy.
He's not a bad guy. He's pretty nice. Like, I saw him. I'm like, I know who you are, and like it didn't dawn on me at first. I was like, I know you, and I
Where
thought
did
it
you
was
hear?
somebody-
Where did you hear that this image is taking forever? Oh
uh,
my goodness.
what was it? Tim Pool and a couple other podcasters. They
Oh my God, I can't
tried
wait
it
12
out.
hours.
They tried it out and they couldn't get it to do it. God,
Image of a
life
glass of wine
is
filled to the
wrong.
brim. Well, image of a glass of wine filled to the brim. Not filled to the brown, you freaking morons. Gosh.
Which AI?
Image of a glass of wine filled to the brim. Hold on. I can't believe we're still on.
They added Jay and Silent Bob playable in the new Call of Duty. Are you serious? That's funny.
I hear that's a great movie. I've never seen it.
Call of
Oh my
Duty?
God, you're right. They don't.
Yeah.
They see. Whoops.
Yeah. It's always a half glass. Or here. Hey, what's up, Homer?
Crazy.
But here's another one. Try this.
Not that I what?
Say you want a clock point or a, an analog clock,
Right.
and say any time. It doesn't matter. 6 o'clock, midnight. It'll always have, it'd be like a hand at the 10 and the 1, I think, or 11 and 1. It's always in the V shape.
I need an image of an analog clock showing 12:30. So it can't do it.
It can't do it.
Look at this. This is so stupid. That's so weird. It showed 2 different times though. See? Whoops. I got 2 different
See,
times.
it shows the V.
Right, but it didn't do.
Yeah, it won't
Like
show you.
one is like 10:07 and one is 12:12.
Yeah,
Hold on. 12:30 p.m.
it won't matter. Analog clocks don't have AM PM.
I don't care. I'm just trying it. Don't crush my spirit here.
It's funny though.
Have you
Hey,
tried
guys,
this?
Oh, I've seen it done. I don't have AI, especially since my phone's.
This one's showing me like 2:37. It's still showing other times, but it's not doing what
Actually, the one right there on the right underneath the time,
right.
it actually shows something different. See, I've never seen it do that.
That's
But usually it's the one on the other side.
right on the 10 and the 2.
Yeah.
Like driving.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, we honestly should say goodbye. Let's see.
Jimmy, who's this special gentleman?
What?
This is my
Homer
buddy Jack.
Is it Homer Glass?
I just said call him Homer.
Who's this special gentleman? Oh, I'm just some guy that Jimmy's training me how to podcast.
Am I really?
Yeah, I want to get into YouTube.
Sure.
Jimmy's a good guy.
Yeah, you have to follow us on Effers and Frank as well.
No, don't worry about that. Just you know what? I think we're going to be coming back here too.
Jimmy's really good at it.
Jimmy's really good at that. Very cool.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I do what I
He's
can.
a great guy. That's why I like hanging with him. So,
But I will be on Twitch Gaming. It's on the bottom of the screen there for you guys. I'll be on there later tonight.
okay.
And yeah, we'll also be doing Effers and Frank next week and another broadcast here next week.
That's cool. So, are we going to try and do this every Monday?
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Monday night's okay for you?
Yeah.
Monday nights suck. Nothing's ever going on but football. And that's on a channel we probably don't subscribe to anyway.
Well, don't you have the football thing where you get all the football channels or?
Oh, the Red Zone?
Yeah.
I usually do, but who knows? Oh, by the way, I bet on the Raiders, dude.
But football's not even in season right now.
I know. That's when you bet on the Raiders. I bet $40. Guess how much it pays?
For 100,000?
7,500.
That's not bad.
No.
For a $40 bet.
I'm betting that who's the partial owner of the Raiders again? The quarterback, Tom Brady. That's right.
Wait, Tom Brady?
Yeah, he's partial owner of the Raiders now.
Really?
That's why he stopped broadcasting. He's
Tom
not
Brady,
allowed.
the Patriots quarterback.
He's part owner of the Raiders.
Really?
So I'm betting that people are going to want to play for Tom Brady. I'm betting Tom Brady knows how to pick them. And I'm betting they've made some good acquisitions already. They got Geno Smith. You know that?
Who?
Geno from Seattle. Geno Smith.
I'm guessing he's a football player?
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk football. It's like talking German to you. So anyway.
I know a few people.
I'm betting on Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady's first year. So many players know Tom personally. So I'm hoping they'll put together a good team.
I've heard he's a really good guy, too.
Yeah, I hear he's a good guy, too. But I guess not. You're right. Jimmy doesn't follow football. Do you know what the yellow thing is in the end zone?
The field goal?
Oh, my God. You do know.
Yeah.
Good job.
I know the game. I just don't know I don't follow the players and stuff like that.
Will Effers and Frank be before the Masters? Are you into the Masters, Gatsby? I don't know. Effers and Frank kind of is like a moving field goal. You know, we don't know exactly because like Tammy needs to run some errands. So I kind of hang with her. Then we come back after shopping or whatever. And then we jump on. So we should really secure it. What time does the Masters start?
Sarah said that she met Michael Caine in real life. That's cool.
Really?
That'd be kind of cool to meet.
Hold on, let's find out when the Masters start.
And Homer, I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima tonight.
Hold on a minute.
So you can join me on there.
I'm just going to get the time on the Masters.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just going over the chat. My mom had to make a picture of an analog clock at 10 after 11.
What time day?
This was part of a dementia test.
Hold on, stop talking.
Interesting.
Begins on Thursday, April 10th, 2025.
What time on the clock, you freaking moron? They spelled that right.
The first round of the Masters tournament starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on April 10th, 2025.
Okay, 3 p.m. Oh, we should be on before that, right?
How long does it go for?
I don't freaking know. Ask AI.
No, I think we record at 1, don't we? Normally.
Well, we should let Homer know what we're talking about, because obviously he doesn't know who I am.
Yeah. So we talk about
There's
the trending topics. We talk about what's going on in
yeah,
the
we
world
do a
today.
YouTube channel called F as in Frank. There's a few of them, so you gotta look for us, and then we get together on that
Yeah,
channel.
if you find the one that looks like a school chalkboard behind
Yeah.
F as in Frank,
It's green
it's
chalkboard.
yeah, you'll recognize it, and that's the one.
But yeah, so if you
Sarah
want
said,
to subscribe to that too, I think we're gonna bounce back and forth.
yeah, for sure.
So anyway, but
So
let's
Sarah
hope
said
these guys.
something. Hold on.
What?
Sarah said something interesting.
What?
She said her mom had to make a picture of an analog clock at 10 after 11. It was part of a dementia test. That's
Oh,
interesting.
she had to draw it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That is interesting.
Especially if that's what AI normally pulls out.
I don't know.
That's interesting. I wonder how that corresponds.
Guest a hat like yours, it rocks. Yeah, I can't do a cowboy hat. I mean, I got one. I got married.
You're in a country music and you can't do a cowboy hat?
No.
How many country bars have you been to? You did. Wait, hold on.
What?
You did wear one for the wedding.
I'd have to. Yeah, I wore a Stetson.
Yeah.
So I'm not breaking that out. That's black Stetson. See, I'm all bald and everything. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll. If you want me in a cowboy hat, I'll look around. If I have one, I have a lot of baseball caps. It's just been that way.
Yeah, a lot of people like the game though.
Which game?
Ghost of Tsushima. He says
okay? Can your guest mute his mic while he's yelling at Siri?
That's just something you got to get used to.
Yeah,
Jack yells at Siri all the time.
Muting my mic while I'm yelling doesn't work for me because I'm yelling for a reason. Just don't yell at AI while Jimmy's talking to chat. Okay, Homer. Tell me the rules. Tell me the rules of YouTube, please.
Homer, I'm talking.
I don't know what I'm doing. Please instruct me.
Hold on, Jack. I'm just talking to chat while he tries to get an answer from AI. Unfortunately, AI is not as smart as it's supposed to be.
Oh, James watches the Masters too. Live coverage starts at 9 a.m.
Well, we'll be here when they're live.
Yeah, we'll probably go on before 3.
Yeah, I can see that, Homer.
So you know what? You can always mute us and just keep us in the background.
But actually, F as in Frank is also on Twitch, is it not? You broadcast.
Oh, Homer, accept my apologies. That's right, dude. He's on Twitch. I think he's on YouTube watching us, but he's watching us from Twitch. Totally understand. Totally get it. So
does it broadcast to F as in Frank on Twitch?
Yeah, F as in Frank, but it's under my personal.
On Cooking with Jack?
It's on Jack Scalfani.
Oh, okay.
Do you have his contact info?
I don't. Homer, if you join me on the gaming stream, then I'll send you a link to it.
Yeah, Jack, Homer. I don't know why I thought you were on YouTube. It shows you're on Twitch. Contact Jimmy. He'll give you the information.
Okay? Yeah, definitely.
Not here though. Don't post it here, please. Yeah. I'm on Twitch, but it's easier to watch on YouTube when we're doing F as in Frank.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yep.
All right. So you're running the show, buddy. So I'll see y'all later. Take care.
Yeah. We'll see y'all next week.